Tonight, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is ramping up his rhetoric, using state media to threaten to test fire a long-range missile at any moment.
The intercontinental ballistic missile will be launched anytime and anywhere, determined by the Supreme Headquarters.
A U.S. intelligence official tells CNN to grab world attention, Kim Jong-un could time a provocation, like a missile test, to coincide with Donald Trump taking office, a missile capable of delivering a nuclear weapon to the U.S.
An intercontinental ballistic missile test launch preparation is in its last stage.
How close is Kim to having a deployable long-range missile? Analysts say gathering intelligence inside the secretive regime is difficult, and that Kim could have that ability now, or he could be maybe 3 years away. But U.S. officials and outside experts say there's a crucial part of that capability they believe the North Koreans haven't perfected yet.
What they haven't done is, in an all-up test, not only launch the missile, but then have it re-enter for an intercontinental range. Now, having said that, they have done some other things that cause us to worry. This, for instance, is an example of a ground test that kind of simulates the heat attached to reentry, using really another missile engine to burn up the reentry vehicle and approximate the stresses of reentry.
But as North Korea's technology advances, experts warn a dependable long-range missile in the hands of this violent, brash young leader would be a game changer. If and when he gets that capability, how aggressive would he then be?
Kim Jong-un is likely to be more aggressive with an ICBM than without it. The fear is not that Kim will use a nuclear weapon against us. The fear is that he will use conventional force, cyber force, and other provocations against us because he thinks we can do nothing about it.
What will President Trump's options be for countering that threat? Former Defense Secretary William Perry says if North Korea launches a test, the U.S. should consider shooting it down.
Certainly one of those actions could be disrupting their ICBM tests in flight. That would have to be on the list.
Now, if North Korea actually fired a missile toward America or its allies, current Defense Secretary Ash Carter has just promised the U.S. forces would shoot it down. Experts say one reason the U.S. and its allies should maybe hesitate to hit North Korean missiles on the launch pads would be the threat of Kim's retaliation. He could possibly launch a massive conventional attack on South Korea's capital, Seoul, which one analyst describes as a sitting duck.